What's up, everyone? Nice day so far. We're seeing a lot of these daily breakouts on large cap stocks. A lot of stocks are breaking out of the range, and I'm looking for more follow through on the upside. For the large caps, stocks like Tesla and a couple other ones that we are watching. So as always, we're gonna go over both the winners and the losers on the day. So let's talk about CLOV first. This one I took a loss on the long side, and then I flipped short on this ticker. You can see this thing, sold off on the first day on the June 22nd. Yesterday, this thing gapped up, sold off again, and slowly grinded back to 1380s near the end of the day. And we had a small gap up after hours from 1380s to 14s. And pre-market, very, very perfect timing. They released a brand new press release about their potential expansions and all that stuff. So the news is great and all, but it's definitely very planned out. Because after the news spiked, the stock spiked to a high of 1520s, and at the open, just no bounce whatsoever. Spiked a little bit and sold off all the way back to where it came from, 1440s. And this is where I took some starter longs, 1450s, and then added at 1446s here. So at an average about 1451, not the best average, but the idea was that if it reclaims over to VWAP and gets a lot of volume, then I'll add into it and see if it can retest to $15. But the stock was weak all morning, no bounces. You can see this thing, had a small spike to 1460s, which I didn't sell because I was trying to wait for more follow through, and nope, harsh reject, sold off to the lows, and that's why I just cut it. So I lost for about 25 cents per share on the long side, and when seeing how weak the stock is, I actually flipped short. So I shorted here 1450s on that weak little bounce. You can see this bounce was only up to 1460s. So I had a small short. I don't like to flip bias too soon, but when I do, the short trade in this case is usually smaller. So this ticker is still red. I shorted it all the way from 1457 down to 1406. Had a small bounce on it. This is where I actually tried to reshort, and I thinking that this might be a good long. I had a small long, 1420s, and no follow through, no strength whatsoever. I got stopped out of the reshort, and you can see my short bias on the flip side was actually right, because this thing couldn't bounce, couldn't even go back to 1440s. It just tanked down to a previous day close, and it's actually red on the day. So, this is definitely very controlled, and the fact that they released the news pre-market to get some volume and to pop the stock to $15 and above, and it's all I can say is very planned out. So overall, red on this name, red on the long side, green on the short side. Next one is Tesla on the long side. This one is actually my biggest winner on the day. I missed it completely yesterday. It was on our watch list that we were trading yesterday when the stock rallied from 630s all the way to 650s yesterday. So that was a 20-point move on Tesla. Today, you can see the stock gapped up from a previous day close of 556 to a high of 570. So that's another almost 20-point gap up. But the thing you need to know about Tesla is that whenever they have huge gap up days, you should expect at least 50% retracement off the open. It's really rare that after a huge gap up, it just keep on rallying up from 670s and continue on to 690s where it is right now. It's very rare. It has done that in the past, but most of the time it likes to dip at the open, at least 50% retracement. So in that case was about 668. And I started trading Tesla on the 5-minute now. It's actually been a while since I traded Tesla. Because it's been stuck in a daily consolidation range from 560s and 640. So it's been stuck there for a while. So that's why I haven't traded Tesla for a while. I like trading Tesla on the huge breakout days. What does that mean? That means when a stock, you can see yesterday was the first breakout day. When it breaks above this tight range on the daily, the channel that we talked about, 500 and 540s being the top, when it broke out above this daily resistance yesterday, that's the breakout day. So like I said, I didn't trade it yesterday, but I remember that, Tesla could have followed through for multiple days. Same thing on the downside as well. So that's why today it's on the watch list. I like this huge gap up. I want to see profit taking off the open for 50% retracement, 60%, 50, 60%, and then buying the dip once it reclaims over VWAP and add onto it for the daily move upside potentially to 690s and 700s. I longed it here. I sold the first little morning push. I added onto this little dips. If you see on the 5 minutes, you might get chopped out on the 1 minute or the 2 minute charts on Tesla. But for these large cap stocks, a lot of times when they are trending on the daily, it's so much cleaner to look at them on the 5 minute chart. So that's what I was using for my executions. I never looked at the 2 minute chart on Tesla. So I was adding into the dips, added here 677s, and I re-added even more 679s basically. That gave me an average about 679 70s. I like to add on the way up. As it starts working, as it starts gaining volume and strength, and as usual, like we said, we have a lot more upside to 690s. I sold some into the high of the day push, 680s, and I continue to sell on the way up. I had a decent average, and I sold the most of it at 690s. I have a very small remaining shares left on Tesla, and I'm gonna see if they go up to 700 or even 706's area today. Very small left. I just want to let it work. It's working out really fine. It's now at 695s. You can see on the 5 minutes it pulled back, a couple of times on the red candles, but all the little dips, all these wicks are getting bought back up. So that's a very, very bullish sign on Tesla. So hopefully we see 700s today. Then that's the place where I'll take the remaining profit on my final position on the long side. But I already locked in most of it by 690s. Again, I'm buying on the way up, buy high, sell even higher for these large cap stocks. And it's okay to buy breakouts on these too. So that's usually something that I would only do for the large caps. Small caps, I wouldn't do this. So that was a very nice trade on Tesla. I did trade a couple of small caps on the short side, ARAV being the first one. I was thinking that since this stock was very easy to borrow, that they could potentially squeeze it back to 780s or even $8. So that's kind of where I was waiting. But at the open, I left this thing alone, thinking that they could trap more shorts and squeeze it back to highs like I had planned. But after seeing a lot of failed spikes, I would look at these on the 1 and 2 minute candles on the small caps. A lot of failed spikes around the 690s and couldn't even touch $7. So, I was waiting for the next spike, short into this 670s, and this thing just sold off, and they were just no bounces whatsoever, and I covered half of it $6 and the remaining at 589s, and it's pretty much dead. So small caps, not a lot of follow through. So that's the reason I shorted ARAV. Next one is MRIN. This one I wasn't that interested unless they can go all the way to 360s, and yeah, there's a resistance around 330s, but at the time I was kind of watching Tesla, so I missed this initial entry. That would have been pretty nice. You can see pre-market, decent consolidation, reclaimed the highs, reclaimed 280s, at the open spiked from $3 all the way to 340s. But if you look at the daily, 330s is a pretty decent resistance, and above it you have 360s. So that's the reason I was more short bias on MRIN, and it's just a stock that has a history of selling off the gap ups. So that's the reason I was more short bias, but I didn't get in around 330s, and the stock just tanked down to from 320 down to 290s, and at that point, I didn't want to short below $3, so I was just gonna leave it alone. And I saw it pop back up about 301s, so I had a small position short, and I thought, I might just get 14 cents. So after I cover that small position, the stock just tanked down to 260s and even 250s. So So could have stayed longer, but I was more focused on other stocks like Tesla. So pretty decent trades today. CLOV was the one that was very disappointing. I feel like it was a very big long trap pre-market with the news release. And at the open, just no bounce whatsoever. You can see just sold off from $15 and down to 40s, where I got long and lost, and it just couldn't bounce at all. So that was definitely very disappointing. And just from looking at this chart, I think the stock CLOV earned the title of No Bounce City. I've been getting a lot of questions and requests for these Humble Trader t-shirts in the YouTube comments and also in my Instagram DMs. We actually have a soft launch already, and you can see these t-shirts on my website, humbletrader.com/merch store. And so you can see the shirts here, and there's other ones like for the right occasions, I'll wear this one. That's Short Squeeze City. And on each of the t-shirts on the back, you have a very, very small but subtle HT branded logo, the Humble Trader on the back. So that's available in unisex, V-neck, and there's also female shirts as well. So if you're interested, you can check them out on my website. We're gonna have a lot more photos coming up as well. And I'm just looking at Tesla charts now. We're going to 697s and 700 very, very likely today or tomorrow. Hopefully everyone's staying safe, and remember to stay away from stocks that won't bounce, like no bounce cities. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.